Jisoo Park stood on the bridge of the starship New Seoul, looking out at the endless darkness of space. She had waited her whole life for this moment. Today, humans would meet aliens for the first time. As Earth's top diplomat, Jisoo had the honor of speaking for all of humanity. The alien ships appeared suddenly, like silver ghosts against the black sky. They were huge, much bigger than any human ship. There were 12 of them, arranged in a perfect circle around Earth's solar system. Each ship was the size of a small city. "Incoming message," said Lieutenant Mina Lee from her station. She was young but smart, chosen personally by Jisoo for this mission. "They want to talk." The main screen flickered and an alien face appeared. It had gray skin, 4 eyes, and no nose that humans could see. When it spoke, its voice was cold and harsh. "I am Admiral Vextar of the Galactic Empire," the alien said. "You will surrender your planet immediately. Your species is now property of the Empire." Jisoo stepped forward, trying to stay calm. She had practiced this speech many times. "Greetings, Admiral Vextar. I am Commander Jisoo Park, speaking for the people of Earth. We welcome contact with your empire and hope we can become friends." The alien made a sound that might have been laughing. "Friends? You are nothing but animals. Your technology is weak. Your planet will be useful for mining and your people for work. You have no choice." "We believe all species deserve respect," Jisoo said carefully. "Perhaps we can find a way to work together as equals." This time, Admiral Vextar definitely laughed. The sound was ugly and mean. "Equals? Look at your tiny ships. Look at your weak weapons. We have conquered 1,000 worlds. You are insects compared to us." Behind Jisoo, her crew stayed quiet, but she could feel their anger. Hyun Kim, Earth's military commander, had wanted to bring warships instead of a diplomatic vessel. Now Jisoo wondered if he had been right. "Your species amuses me," Vexatar continued. "Most planets surrender immediately when they see our fleet. You still think you can negotiate? Very foolish." The alien touched something on his control panel. Suddenly, more ships appeared. Hundreds of them, maybe thousands. They filled the space around Earth like a swarm of metal insects. Each one was armed with weapons that could destroy a city. "This is just a small part of our fleet," Vextar said. "We have millions of ships, billions of soldiers. Your entire solar system could not stop even one of our battle groups." Jisoo felt her heart beating fast, but she kept her voice steady. "What do you want from us?" "Everything. Your planet will mine resources for the Empire. Your people will work in our factories. Your smartest individuals will serve our scientists. The rest will die if they are not useful." "And if we refuse?" Vextar's 4 eyes seemed to glow with pleasure. "Then we will demonstrate why refusal is pointless. We will destroy one of your cities, then another, then another. We will keep destroying until you beg us to accept your surrender." Mina Lee made a small sound of horror. Even the tough soldiers on the bridge looked shocked. This was worse than their worst fears. "You have 72 of your Earth hours to decide," Vextar said. "Send a message to your leaders. Tell them the Galactic Empire does not negotiate. We conquer. Your surrender will be complete and immediate, or your species will be eliminated." The screen went black. The alien ships remained, surrounding Earth, like hunters surrounding wounded prey. Jisoo turned to her communications officer. "Get me a direct line to Earth Command, Priority Alpha." Within minutes, she was talking to General Hyun Kim and Director Mina Lee of Human Intelligence. Both looked grim as she explained what had happened. "They're not interested in peace," Jisoo reported. "They see us as slaves or targets, nothing else." "How many ships?" Hyun asked. "Thousands visible. They claim to have millions more. Their weapons? Unknown, but their technology is clearly more advanced than ours." Mina Lee spoke up from Earth. "We're already picking up their scanning beams. They're studying our defenses, our cities, our military installations. They're preparing for war." "Maybe we should consider their offer," said one of the junior officers. "If we surrender, at least some humans would survive." "As slaves," Jisoo replied firmly. "That's not survival. That's extinction with extra steps. Hyun Kim's face was hard as stone. I've been preparing for this possibility my whole career. We always knew that first contact might not be friendly. What are you saying? Jisoo asked. I'm saying that maybe these aliens picked the wrong species to threaten. Over the next few hours, messages flew between Earth and its colonies on Mars, the Moon, and the asteroid belt. Emergency sessions were held in every government on Earth. The aliens watched it all, probably amused by human panic. But not everyone was panicking. In secret military bases, old plans were being dusted off. Scientists who had been working on theoretical weapons suddenly found unlimited funding. Factories that made mining equipment began retooling for war production. Dr. Taemin Cho, working on Mars, received an urgent message. His experimental quantum weapons project was now top priority. Everything else was canceled. Jinwoo Seo, leading the underground resistance movement that most people thought was just a conspiracy theory, got a call from the government. His paranoid preparations for alien invasion were suddenly very valuable. Hana Yoon, a military engineer who specialized in reverse engineering captured technology, was told to prepare for the biggest challenge of her life. As the 72-hour deadline approached, Admiral Vextar contacted Earth again. Have you made your decision, humans? Jisoo looked directly into the camera. We have. And we need more time to discuss terms. Vextar made that ugly laughing sound again. Very. Well, you may have 12 more hours, but know this, humans. Every moment you delay makes your eventual punishment more severe. We will make an example of your species. The galaxy will remember what happens to those who defy the Empire. When the transmission ended, Jisoo allowed herself a small smile. She had bought humanity 12 more hours. It wasn't much, but it might be enough. The aliens were about to learn something important about humans. When backed into a corner, they didn't just fight back. They fought smart, and they fought to win. Admiral Vextar was growing impatient. The humans had used their extra 12 hours to send more messages and hold more meetings. It was pathetic. Every other species in the galaxy had surrendered by now, usually within the first hour. These creatures are either very stupid or very arrogant, he told his second-in-command. Either way, they need to be taught a lesson. Shall we destroy one of their cities, Admiral? No. Something bigger. Something that will break their spirit completely. Vextar studied the hologram showing the human solar system. There, that facility on the red planet. Our scans show it contains 50,000 humans. It will be perfect. The Mars Research Station was humanity's pride and joy. Built into the side of Olympus Mons, it housed scientists, engineers, and their families. Dr. Taemin Cho had worked there for 10 years, developing new technologies that might someday help humans explore the galaxy. He never expected that his work would be needed to save humanity itself. Dr. Cho, we have a problem, his assistant Hana Yoon called out. She was monitoring the long-range sensors. The alien ships are moving. 3 of them are heading straight for us. Taemin looked at his screens. The alien vessels were massive, each one bigger than the entire research station. How long until they arrive? 6 hours, maybe 7. Send a message to Earth immediately. Tell them the aliens are targeting Mars. But it was too late for evacuation. The alien ships moved faster than any human vessel. Even if rescue ships left Earth immediately, they would never arrive in time. On Earth, Jisoo Park watched the incoming reports with growing horror. They're really going to do it. They're going to kill 50,000 innocent people just to make a point. It's worse than that, Mina Lee said grimly. They're broadcasting it. They want everyone to see what happens when you defy the Empire. Hyun Kim slammed his fist on the table. We can't just watch this happen. What choice do we have? We don't have any ships that can reach Mars in time. On Mars, Dr. Taemin Cho was thinking the same thing, but he wasn't ready to give up. For the past 3 years, he had been working on a secret project. The government called it the Quantum Defense Initiative. Most people thought it was just theoretical research. They were wrong. Hana, remember that quantum entanglement experiment we've been working on? The one that keeps exploding when we test it? That's the one. How quickly can we set it up around the station? Hana stared at him. Dr. Cho, that system is completely unstable. We don't even know if it works. We know it makes big explosions. Right now, that might be enough. The next few hours were frantic. While the alien ships approached, Taman and his team worked to install their experimental quantum defense system. It had never been tested at full power. It might not work at all. It might blow up the entire station. But doing nothing meant certain death. Quantum field generators are online, Hana reported. But sir, the power requirements are enormous. If this works, it'll drain our entire reactor. If it doesn't work, we won't need the reactor anymore. The alien ships arrived exactly on schedule. They formed a triangle around Mars, their weapons, charging with deadly energy. Admiral Vextar appeared on every communication channel in the solar system. Humans of Earth, he announced. You have chosen defiance over wisdom. Now you will see the price of that choice. The lead alien ship fired. A beam of pure energy lanced toward the Mars research station, powerful enough to crack the planet's surface. That's when Dr. Taman Cho activated his quantum defense system. Nobody expected what happened next. The quantum field around the station didn't just absorb the alien weapon's energy. It reflected it back, amplified it, and created a feedback loop that turned the aliens' own power against them. The space around Mars lit up like a small sun. The alien energy beam, now magnified 100 times, struck the lead ship and tore it apart. But that was just the beginning. The quantum field had become unstable. It was creating a chain reaction, pulling energy from the other alien ships and feeding it back into the loop. The more the aliens fired, the stronger the field became. One by one, the alien vessels were caught in the expanding quantum storm. Their shields failed, their hulls cracked, their reactors overloaded. In less than 10 minutes, half of Admiral Vextar's advance fleet was destroyed. On Earth, humans watched in amazement. They had expected to see Mars destroyed. Instead, they saw alien warships burning in space. How is this possible? Vextar demanded of his science officers. Our weapons are superior. Our shields are impenetrable. Admiral, it appears the humans have some kind of quantum weapon. Our sensors show massive energy readings from their facility. Vextar studied the reports with growing concern. Intelligence had said these humans were primitive. Their technology was supposed to be thousands of years behind the empires. Yet somehow they had destroyed 6 of his most powerful warships. Retreat to a safe distance, he ordered. We need to reassess this situation. On Mars, Dr. Taman Cho was just as surprised as everyone else. Hana, tell me you recorded everything that just happened. Every second, sir. But I'm not sure I understand it myself. Then we better figure it out quickly. Something tells me the aliens will be back. Back on Earth, Mina Lee was already hard at work. During the battle, she had managed to hack into the alien communication systems. She was now spreading carefully crafted lies throughout their network. The message was simple but effective. Mars was not humanity's most advanced facility. It was actually one of their weakest outposts. Earth's real defenses were much more powerful. Within hours, rumors were spreading through the alien fleet. Some said the humans had planet-killer weapons. Others claimed they could control time itself. The truth didn't matter. What mattered was that the aliens were now afraid. Admiral Vextar sent an urgent message to the Galactic Empire's High Command. Request immediate reinforcements. The humans are more dangerous than initially assessed. For the first time in 1,000 years, the Empire's invincible fleet was retreating from a primitive species. Jisoo Park addressed the people of Earth and its colonies. Today we learned something important. We are not helpless. We are not weak. When threatened, we fight back. And when we fight back, we win. But she also knew this was just the beginning. The Empire would send more ships, bigger guns, and smarter tactics. Humanity had won the first battle. Now they had to prepare for the war. The victory at Mars had given humanity something they desperately needed: time. While Admiral Vextar waited for reinforcements, humans across the solar system were busy preparing for what everyone knew would be a much bigger fight. Jisoo Park called an emergency meeting of all human leaders. Representatives from Earth, Mars, the Moon, and the asteroid colonies gathered on a secure communication channel. For the first time in decades, political differences were put aside. The aliens think we got lucky, Jisoo began. They believe Mars was a fluke. We need to let them keep believing that while we prepare our real response. What real response? Asked the Mars colonial governor. Dr. Cho's quantum weapon was an accident. We can't count on accidents to save us. That's when Jin Woo-seo spoke up. Most people didn't know who he was. The public records listed him as a mining engineer working in the asteroid belt. Those records were lies. Actually, we can count on more than you think, Jinwoo said quietly. It's time to tell everyone the truth about what we've really been building out here. For the next hour, Jinwoo revealed secrets that had been hidden for 20 years. The asteroid mining operation wasn't just about gathering resources. Hidden inside hollowed-out asteroids were shipyards, weapons factories, and military bases. We've been preparing for this day since we first detected radio signals from deep space, Jinwoo explained. We always knew that contact with aliens might not be friendly. Hyun Kim nodded. The military has been developing contingency plans for decades. Operation Deep Strike has been ready to activate for 5 years. What's Operation Deep Strike? Jisoo asked. The complete militarization of human space. Every civilian facility has backup military functions. Every mining station is also a weapons platform. Every transport ship can be converted to a warship within hours. The scope of the preparation was incredible. Humanity hadn't just built a few secret weapons. They had built an entire hidden war machine. Dr. Taemin Cho was already hard at work analyzing the wreckage from the destroyed alien ships. With Hana Yoon's help, he was learning more about Empire technology every hour. Their weapons are powerful but predictable, Taemin reported. They're designed to fight enemies who use similar technology. Our quantum systems work completely differently. That's why our defenses were so effective. Can we build more quantum weapons? Hyun asked. Better than that. I can modify their own weapons to work with our systems. We can turn their technology against them. Meanwhile, Mina Lee was proving that her hacking of the alien communications wasn't luck either. She had been studying intercepted alien signals for months, learning their language and computer systems. I'm inside their network, she reported. They're calling for massive reinforcements. The main Imperial fleet is coming, but I'm also spreading disinformation. By the time they arrive, they'll expect us to have weapons we don't actually have. What kind of weapons? Planet crackers, reality bombs, time distortion fields. The more impossible it sounds, the more worried they get. Jin Woo-seo was coordinating the real military buildup. Across the solar system, hidden factories were working at full capacity. Ships that looked like cargo haulers were revealing hidden weapons. Mining equipment was being converted to military hardware. How many ships can we actually field? Jisoo asked. Officially? About 50 military vessels and maybe 200 civilian ships. And unofficially? Jinwoo smiled. Over 3,000 combat-capable vessels, plus fixed defenses around every major installation. We've been very busy. The transformation was incredible. Within days, human space changed from a collection of peaceful colonies to a fortress system. The moon revealed massive railgun emplacements that had been disguised as mining equipment. Mars showed underground bunkers that could house entire armies. Even Earth's orbital stations deployed weapons that had been hidden for years. But the most impressive change was in the asteroid belt. What had appeared to be scattered mining operations was actually a coordinated defense network. Asteroids moved into new positions, creating overlapping fields of fire. Hidden shipyards launched vessels that had been built in secret. Dr. Taemin Cho made breakthrough after breakthrough. Each piece of alien wreckage revealed new secrets. Soon human ships were equipped with modified Empire shields, improved weapons, and faster engines. Their technology is actually quite standardized. Taemin explained to the Leadership Council. They've been using the same basic designs for centuries. It makes them efficient at conquering primitive worlds, but it also makes them predictable. Hana Yoon had become an expert at reverse engineering alien equipment. Every ship in their fleet uses the same computer systems, the same communication protocols, the same targeting software. If we can hack one ship, we can potentially hack all of them. The aliens, meanwhile, were making their own preparations. Admiral Vextar had been replaced by Fleet Admiral Korath, a veteran of 100 successful conquests. Korath brought with him the largest invasion force in Empire history, 10,000 warships and 5 million soldiers. These humans destroyed 6 ships with some kind of lucky accident, Korath told his officers. We will show them what happens when the Empire brings its full might to bear. But Mina Lee was listening to every word. Her infiltration of the alien network was complete. She knew their plans, their troop movements, and their weaknesses. They're expecting to fight a primitive species using basic weapons, she reported. Their tactics are designed for overwhelming inferior opponents, not for fighting an equal enemy. Are we equal? Jisoo asked. Not in numbers or raw firepower, but in adaptability, creativity, and sheer stubbornness. We're about to show them what humans are really capable of. The alien reinforcements began arriving. Ship after ship appeared at the edge of the solar system, forming the largest fleet ever assembled for a single conquest. To outside observers, it looked like humanity was doomed. But Jisoo Park was ready with humanity's response. She opened a communication channel to the entire alien fleet. Fleet Admiral Korath, she said calmly. I am Commander Jisoo Park speaking. For the human species, we have a message for your empire. Surrender and we will be merciful, Korath replied. Actually, we have a different proposal. Leave our space immediately, pay reparations for the attack on Mars, and formally apologize to our people. Do this and we will allow your fleet to retreat with honor. The silence that followed was complete. Never in the Empire's history had a primitive species made demands of their conquerors. Finally, Korath began to laugh. You dare make demands? We have 10,000 ships. You have barely 50. Jisoo smiled. Admiral, you're about to learn why. That doesn't matter. You see, we humans have a saying. It's not the size of the dog in the fight, it's the size of the fight in the dog. What does that mean? It means you picked the wrong species to threaten, and now you're going to find out just how dangerous humans can be when we're fighting for our survival. Fleet Admiral Korath studied the human solar system with satisfaction. His fleet of 10,000 warships surrounded the small collection of planets like a metal ocean. Each ship carried enough firepower to level a city. Together, they could crack worlds. These humans are either very brave or very stupid, he told his officers. Either way, they will learn respect. Korath had conquered 47 star systems in his long career. He had never lost a battle, never faced serious resistance, never even been forced to retreat. The humans would be conquest number 48, but as his sensors swept the solar system, something seemed wrong. The readings didn't match his intelligence reports. Admiral, his science officer reported nervously. I'm detecting massive energy signatures throughout this system, much larger than expected. Explain. The asteroid belt shows signs of extensive modification. Those aren't just mining stations, they're something else. Before Korath could respond, the asteroid belt came alive. Rocks that had seemed dead and lifeless suddenly blazed with weapon signatures. Hidden doors opened, revealing gun ports that had been disguised for decades. What had appeared to be a scattered collection of mining operations was actually a coordinated fortress system. Fleet positions, Korath ordered. But it was too late for clean formations. From the largest asteroid, Jinwu Seo watched the alien fleet with cold satisfaction. He had spent 15 years turning space rocks into weapons platforms. The aliens were about to get their first lesson in human engineering. All stations, this is command, he broadcast on the Resistance Network. Execute Protocol 7. Across the solar system, humanity's hidden defenses came online. The moon's surface split open, revealing massive railgun batteries that had been built inside the ancient crater walls. Mars deployed orbital platforms that had been disguised as communication satellites. Even Earth space elevators revealed their true purpose as weapons delivery systems. But the biggest surprise was the ships. What Korath had identified as 50 human military vessels was actually 3,000 combat-ready ships. Cargo haulers revealed hidden missile launchers. Mining vessels deployed plasma cannons. Even civilian transports showed weapons that had been carefully concealed. Impossible, Korath whispered. Our intelligence said they were primitive. Jisoo Park's face appeared on every screen in the alien fleet. Behind her stood representatives from every human colony, every military unit, every civilian organization. Humanity was united as never before. Fleet Admiral Korath, she said formally. By the authority granted to me by the United Governments of the human species, I am delivering our final ultimatum. Your ultimatum? Korath couldn't hide his shock. You are surrounded, outnumbered. You should be begging for mercy. Admiral, you attacked a civilian research station without provocation. You threatened to enslave our entire species. You have committed acts of war against innocent people. Jisoo's voice grew harder. Therefore, we demand the following. Complete withdrawal of all Imperial forces from human space. Payment of reparations for the damages to Mars Station. Formal apology to be broadcast across your entire empire. And the surrender of yourself and your senior officers for trial as war criminals. The silence that followed was complete. In the Empire's 1,000-year history, no conquered species had ever made demands of their conquerors. The idea was so impossible that Korath's computers had no protocols for handling it. You must be insane, Korath finally said. We have 10,000 ships. Numbers don't win wars, Admiral. Strategy does. Intelligence does. The will to fight does. And you're about to learn that humans excel at all three. Hyun Kim took over the communication. Admiral, you have 1 hour to begin your withdrawal. If you don't, we will remove you by force. Korath's 4 eyes blazed with anger. Remove us. You cannot remove us. We are the Galactic Empire. We have never been defeated. There's a first time for everything, Hyun replied calmly. Very well. You want to see Imperial might? You will have it. The alien fleet moved into attack formation. 10,000 ships arranged themselves in perfect battle order, their weapons charging for a simultaneous strike that would shatter human defenses in minutes. That's when Dr. Taemin Cho and Hana Yoon revealed their latest surprise. All ships deploy quantum scramblers, Taemin broadcast. Across the human fleet, modified alien technology came online, but instead of weapons, these devices projected fields that interfered with the Empire's computer systems. Suddenly, Imperial Tao's ships found their targeting computers failing, their communication systems jammed, their navigation going haywire. What's happening? Korath demanded. Sir, our systems are being disrupted. Some kind of electronic warfare we've never seen before. Impossible. Our computers are quantum encrypted. Mina Lee's voice cut into the Imperial communication channel. Actually, Admiral, your encryption is about 200 years out of date. We broke it 3 days ago. The human fleet struck like a coordinated spear. Instead of meeting the aliens, in traditional formation, they used hit-and-run tactics that the Empire had never encountered. Small groups of human ships would appear, strike hard, and vanish before the aliens could respond. Jinwoo Seo coordinated the attack from his asteroid fortress. His tactical display showed every ship in both fleets, and he used them like pieces. On a chessboard, Strike Group Alpha hit their command ship's port flank. Strike Group Beta target their communication relays. Strike Group Gamma disable their supply vessels. The aliens had never faced an enemy that fought like this. Their doctrine was based on overwhelming force applied in direct confrontation. The humans refused to fight that way. They're not engaging properly, one of Korath's officers complained. They won't stand and fight. Then we'll force them to fight, Korath snarled. Target their homeworld. If they won't protect their fleet, they'll protect their planet. 1,000 Imperial ships turned toward Earth, their planet-killer weapons charging. That's when humanity played its final card. Hidden throughout the solar system were weapons that even Jinwoo Seo hadn't known about. Dr. Taemin Cho had been working on them in absolute secrecy, using technology reverse-engineered from the Mars battle. Quantum Defense Grid activate, Taemin announced. Space around Earth began to glow. A network of quantum field generators, hidden on asteroids and space stations, created an impenetrable barrier around the planet. But this wasn't just a shield. When the Imperial weapons struck the quantum field, the same thing happened that had occurred at Mars, but on a much larger scale. The aliens' own energy was turned against them, amplified and reflected back at their ships. One by one, Imperial vessels found themselves torn apart by their own weapons. The more they fired, the stronger the human defenses became. Impossible, Korath whispered. This cannot be happening. Retreat, he finally ordered. All ships, retreat to safe distance. But the human fleet wasn't finished. As the aliens tried to withdraw, human ships pursued them, using the confusion to destroy stragglers and capture damaged vessels. When the battle ended, the Empire's invincible fleet had lost over 3,000 ships. They had destroyed exactly 0 human vessels. Jisoo Park opened communications one final time. Admiral Korath, our offer still stands. Withdraw from human space, pay reparations, and apologize. Do this within 24 hours or we will resume hostilities. This isn't over, Korath replied, but his voice lacked conviction. Actually, Admiral, it is. You see, we humans have another saying. Don't start a fight you can't finish. You started this fight. Now we're going to finish it. The surviving Imperial ships limped away from Earth, carrying news of the unthinkable. The Empire's greatest fleet had been defeated by a species they had dismissed as primitive. But Jisoo Park wasn't done with surprises. The real shock was yet to come. The news of humanity's victory spread across the galaxy like wildfire. The Galactic Empire's communication networks, still compromised by Mina Lee's infiltration, carried the story to every corner of known space. For the first time in 1,000 years, the Empire had been defeated. Not just outfought, but completely humiliated by a species they had considered primitive animals. On the Empire's capital world of Zentara Prime, emergency council meetings ran day and night. Emperor Thurak himself, a being who had not left his palace in 50 years, was forced to address the crisis personally. How is this possible? He demanded of his military advisors. Korath's fleet was our strongest. They had every advantage. The humans, they fight differently, Your Majesty, Admiral Zesek replied nervously. They don't follow standard military doctrine. They use tactics we've never seen before. More importantly, added Intelligence Director Voltar, they were prepared. This wasn't a desperate last stand. They had been planning for our arrival for decades. Meanwhile, humanity was learning just how much the galaxy had changed overnight. Dr. Taemin Cho and Hana Yoon worked around the clock, studying captured Imperial technology. Each ship they examined revealed new secrets about faster-than-light travel, advanced materials, and energy systems that humans had only dreamed of. This changes everything, Taemin reported to the Leadership Council. With this technology, we're not trapped in our solar system anymore. We can travel between stars, just like they do. How long to build our own interstellar ships? Jisoo asked. With their manufacturing techniques? 6 months for a prototype, 2 years for a full fleet. But humans wouldn't have to wait that long to leave their home system. The galaxy was coming to them. Mina Lee's monitoring stations detected new ships approaching human space every day. But these weren't Imperial warships. They were diplomatic vessels, trade ships, and even refugee transports. We're receiving communications from over 40 different species, Mina reported. They all want to talk. The first delegation arrived from the Kethrin Republic, a collection of worlds that had been fighting the Empire for decades without success. We come seeking alliance with the humans who defeated the Invincible Fleet, their ambassador announced. We seek military advisors to teach us your combat techniques, added a representative from the Valdris Confederacy. We offer exclusive trade agreements for access to your quantum weapons technology, said a delegate from the merchant world of Prophetess. Jisoo Park found herself at the center of the galaxy's attention. Every species wanted to be humanity's friend, ally, or protector. The same beings who would have ignored humans completely just months ago now competed desperately for human favor. But the biggest surprise came from the Empire itself. Fleet Admiral Korath, disgraced and facing execution for his failure, sent a secret message to Earth. "Commander Park, I request private audience. I have information vital to human survival." Against the advice of her security team, Jisoo agreed to meet with the fallen admiral. Korath arrived alone, in a small ship that looked more like a civilian transport than a military vessel. "You defeated my fleet," he said without preamble. "But that was just one battle group. The Empire has hundreds more. Are you threatening us again, Admiral?" "No, I am warning you. Emperor Thurak will not accept defeat. He is already gathering the Great Armada, 1,000,000 ships, 10 billion soldiers. He would rather destroy the entire galaxy than admit the Empire can be beaten." Jisoo studied the alien's face. "Why are you telling us this?" "Because in 40 years of service, I had never seen true courage until I fought your species. The Empire rules through fear and overwhelming force. You rule through inspiration and intelligent planning. The galaxy deserves better than the Empire." "What are you proposing?" "I know the Empire's weaknesses. I know which systems would rebel if they believed they could win. I know where their secret fleets are hidden and how their command structure works. In exchange for asylum for myself and officers who wish to defect, and the promise that when you inevitably conquer the Empire, you will rule more wisely than we did." It was an offer that changed everything. Within months, human ships were traveling to other star systems, not as conquerors, but as liberators. Species that had suffered under Imperial rule for centuries welcomed human military advisors, human technology, and human leadership. Jinwoo Seo found himself commanding a fleet of ships from dozens of different worlds. His tactical brilliance, proven in the defense of Earth, made him the most sought-after military commander in the galaxy. "It's remarkable," he reported to Earth Command. "Every species fights differently, but they all adapt quickly to human tactics. The Empire's greatest weakness is that they never learn to change." Dr. Taemin Cho established research stations throughout human-controlled space, sharing technology freely with allied species. The quantum weapons that had saved Mars became the foundation for a new age of galactic defense. The Empire hoarded technology, keeping their subjects weak, Taemin explained. "We're doing the opposite. The stronger our allies become, the stronger we all are." Hana Yoon led teams of engineers throughout the galaxy, teaching formerly oppressed species how to build their own defenses. Worlds that had been helpless for centuries suddenly bristled with weapons capable of holding off Imperial fleets. But perhaps the most important changes were happening on the former Imperial capital world. After a series of rebellions supported by human military advisors, Emperor Thurak's government had collapsed. The being who had once ruled 1,000 star systems was now a refugee, begging for sanctuary on distant worlds that refused to accept him. The Empire itself had been restructured as the Galactic Federation, with representatives from every member species. Their first official act was to request human protection from remaining Imperial loyalists. Jisoo Park stood in what had once been Emperor Thurak's throne room, now converted into a meeting hall for the Federation Council. Leaders from hundreds of worlds looked to her for guidance. 6 months ago, humanity was isolated in a single star system, she addressed the assembly. Today, we are part of a galactic community based on cooperation rather than conquest. But our work is not finished. There are still Imperial loyalists out there, still species suffering under oppression, still systems that need liberation. Humanity accepts the responsibility of protecting this federation, but we will not rule it. We believe in government by consent, not by force. The crowd erupted in approval. For the first time in galactic history, the strongest military force was voluntarily limiting its own power. Hyun Kim established the Human Defense Corps, accepting volunteers from every Federation world. Aliens who had been enemies just months before now served alongside human soldiers, learning tactics that emphasized protection over destruction. The Empire conquered through fear, Hyun told his new recruits. We protect through strength. The difference is that we fight for others, not for ourselves. Mina Lee had perhaps the strangest new job of all. As head of Galactic Intelligence, she worked with former Imperial agents who had defected to the Federation. Together, they hunted down war criminals and dismantled the Empire's secret police networks. "It's ironic," she told Jisoo during one of their regular briefings. "6 months ago, I was a minor intelligence analyst studying alien radio signals. Now I'm helping reshape galactic civilization. The transformation was complete when the last Imperial stronghold surrendered without firing a shot. The rebels had learned human tactics and the Loyalists couldn't stand against the combined Federation forces." Standing on the bridge of humanity's first interstellar flagship, Jisoo Park looked out at a galaxy that had changed beyond recognition. Human ships patrolled systems light years from Earth. Human advisors helped former Imperial colonies build new governments. Human technology protected worlds that had known nothing but fear for centuries. But perhaps most importantly, the galaxy had learned a new way to resolve conflicts. Instead of the Empire's philosophy of conquest and subjugation, the Federation embraced humanity's approach of cooperation and mutual defense. "Commander," her communications officer reported, "we're receiving a message from the Outer Rim. A previously unknown species is requesting contact with the Federation. They want to learn about our peaceful expansion policies." Jisoo smiled. "Send a diplomatic ship, and make sure they understand. We come as friends, not conquerors." The human experiment had become a galactic revolution, and it was just beginning.